Hello, hello. Hey, welcome back. Let's talk about the rule. The number one rule you must follow if you want to maximize profits without wasting time. Let me share this with you because I learned this the hard way. I learned this as I got out of graduate school as my first job. I had a mentor and he signed me to be in charge of writing this report. And I was writing the report, I was having the art department make these cool little icons. And he kept reminding me, Al, this report is a action report. You're supposed to come up with tasks. That's what they're looking for. Come up with tasks on how to do the job. And I was doing it on the side, but I was really wanting to look nice. And because of that, I went over budget. I bombed my first assignment. So I learned that you need to prioritize the way you do things. So that's part of the rule. The rule is to maximize profits. That's what you're trying to do. You must exceed expectations. Of course, you want to delight people on things that matter by a small margin. So this is things that I say to myself all the time, especially when I'm setting up a new unit. To maximize profits, I gotta keep I must exceed expectations on things that matter by a small margin. It's a great reminder. Let me go into it in detail for you. So you want to exceed expectations so you delight people and you fulfill your assignment. Okay? So first that means you know the expectations. You took a minute to think about who or what your customers' expectations are. Okay? That's why I came up with this table. It's in the PDF below this. It's just a real easy table. One column is you list your guest needs. And then the second column is, well, how do you address those needs? And the third column is the tools that you use to address those needs. It's a great way of brainstorming out. You're going to want to do this for each audience that you're going to go after and chase. And you're going to have to update this over time as you narrow in on a specific group that you want. For example, my guest needs, well, they got to find your place. That's the first thing they need. And so you need good night lighting and really good instructions to make it simple for them. They want some type of greeting upon entry. It might be a note, or it could be something else. The Wi-Fi passwords are really, really important. They want that right off the bat. So, for example, Wi-Fi passwords, what do? I give it to them before they even leave their home. It's right away I give them the Wi-Fi password. So if they have it on their travel, just to relieve that. And again, I have it posted on the refrigerator and things like that. Those are the things I'm thinking through in the house manual, in my Google site, and different things like that. Okay, so there's a list. It's in the PDF. You go through that. You want to brainstorm for yourself. I'm just trying to seed your thinking, just trying to get it going. Spend some time thinking about your guest needs and just walk through the whole journey of getting to your place, using it for the day, spending the night, waking up in the morning and going to work and coming home from work, what they need. Okay, and then think about how you're going to address those needs, those expectations, and what tools you'll use. That's good exercise. The next part of this mantra is on things that matter. And this is what I really want to tease out. I want to spend a minute here because this is really important. And this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You may have studied this in junior high school or high school, this hierarchy of needs. The bottom, the thing people need most is food, sleep, and water. Okay, everyone needs that. Every organism needs that. That's the first thing that needs to be met on the hierarchy needs. Then the next thing up is shelter and feeling safe. In this case, for us, is shelters and cleanliness. This is really the brand that we operate in as Furnish rental providers. The next step up from there is to feel like they're connected, loved, and they belong to something. That's our tribal nature part of us. And then above that is some type of self-esteem, feeling good about yourself. So love and belongingness is outward, how you connect with other people, with how they make you feel. And self-esteem, this part, is how you make yourself feel, that you feel good about yourself. And self-accusation, that's the highest potential people can feel. That's where they start giving back to other people. So it's great. That's where we want to be. Now, in order to move up, I want to share this with you. This is really important. In order to move from biological and physiological needs upward, those have to be addressed. Those have to be, the person that's going through this has to feel good enough that they have enough food and water and sleep. Once they feel good about that, then they can go up and start thinking about kind of housing options for them. And once they feel safe with housing and they feel comfortable with that, then they can move up to think about belongingness and getting love from other people. Okay? They can't move up until all those things in the lower band has been addressed. You can think of it as scaffolding, building scaffolding to reach a higher level. That bottom scaffolding has to be real sturdy. The next story up has to be really sturdy before you go upward, okay? If it's not sturdy, you can't go up. You'll fall down. Okay, so I wanted to show you this. This is the overall of it, but this is a warm-up exercise. This is from a different lens. This is our digital lens, okay? People have a digital life now too, as well as physical. So this is a warm-up. They need cell reception. They need their smartphones to work. That's one of their basic needs now. And they need Wi-Fi. That's like almost a human need. You can't go up until you have those things in place. Once you have all those things in place, they're happy. They can move up to doing Google searches and being able to use Google Maps and also emailing different folks around. That address their safety needs. Okay, they feel safe then after they got their Wi-Fi. And once they have that, they gotta have some extra time. They want to feel like they get some love from other people. They need Facebook, Skype. I heard that red thing is Tinder, and they need to be able to use Messenger. And once they get love from other people, then they can start thinking about themselves and getting some esteem for themselves. That's where they start bragging on Instagram and Twitter and things like that. And then the highest they can do is start giving back to others is on LinkedIn. Well, you can teach others or you can brag about yourself. YouTube, you can teach others, and Pinterest, you can show others, give others ideas. So this is a warm-up exercise to get you thinking that you can switch lens with this hierarchy of needs. Here's another one. This is what happened to COVID, is we see that everyone, you can get your sleep, your water, and your health together, and then kind of safety is kind of there because you're kind of not knowing what's going out until we have the vaccine in place. And then you can't really get love from other people because you can't touch them. So that kind of broke down, and your self-esteem for a lot of people broke down. I know for my kids who can't go to school, all these things kind of broke down their social life, their esteem, self-accusation kind of broke down. So it's a useful framework. Now all this is warm-up exercises because I want you to use this when you're thinking about your housing that you're providing. You want to help people ascend up that hierarchy of needs. I start off with the highest priority is personal safety. That's on the bottom there. And then you want to provide a clean place. That's the next thing, clean housing. And then of course their sleep is down in physiology. You want to provide a really comfortable bed. And then I'm stepping down on the perceived needs. Okay, fully equipped kitchen because they got to eat. They got to take care of, regulate their temperature. So those are what I'm talking about. What that person perceives their needs are, you got to address those first. This is how you spend your money. You spend your money on your budget, whatever size your budget is. You put it towards personal safety first, okay? And then I have in this other column next to it, it says, well, what can you do to meet that need? After you have it listed and sorted, keep going from there. Again, this is a starter table is in the PDF below, and it can be much more detailed than this, but I just want you to go through this exercise. Okay, for personal safety, you can add just a side latch on the door, just like they have in hotel rooms on the door, so no one can come into the room. They'll feel safe about that. Cleanliness, the place has got to smell clean and look clean to help them perceive that as clean. These are the things I want you to think about. A comfortable bed, there's the Zenith 12-inch mattress you can order online. Those are good. Pillow top mattresses are good. And there's lots of options about that. But make sure that you don't go cheap on the bed because that's important in the hierarchy of needs. Okay, so the last part of the rule is you want to exceed these expectations on things that matter by a small margin. You don't want to overdo it. If you think of this graph here as like your bang to buck graph. Bang is how much happiness that person has. And on this horizontal axis, how much you spend, okay, to accomplish that. So there's an optimal spot. That's what I'm showing with this dashed line. That's where it's optimal, all right? A lot of people, I notice if you're not using discipline, you're not really focused, you'll come in way over here. You'll spend way too much money and you will have overdone it. They'll be delighted, but you don't want to go where they're okay, you know, you can only be so much delighted, but you spent too much money to accomplish this. You're off of optimal. Your goal is to be right there, just a little bit on the other side of expectation, and just by a little bit of extra money. You don't want to spend hardly any money more than you absolutely have to. So be disciplined about your setup. Because here's the thing, you can earn 5 stars on Airbnb for as little investment as possible. That's what you want to do. Earn 5 stars for as little investment as possible, because there is no 6 stars. You can't get a 6 star. You can only get 5. If you're trying to for 10 stars, hey, you can only get 5. Don't overdo it. Here's a power tip: is to give people what they need to enjoy their stay before they ask. That delights them. That you've thought through it, you've anticipated, and you're giving it to them before they need it. That makes them feel like things are under control. Here's some icons that are in the course here. You can put them, just label things. That just helps people know where the forks are before they reach for that drawer. They can see it right away. Sometimes people, especially international travelers, they don't know the difference between the air conditioner and the wall heater. I have separate ones in my apartments. So these icons really help them know, hey, this is the heater, this is the air conditioner. And hey, which closet is the ironing board in? These icons really help out. Okay, again, these little inexpensive things delight people. So there it is, the rule that I say to myself. I have to constantly check in with this to maximize profits. That's our goal. I must exceed expectations on things that matter by a small margin. All right, so let that sink in. Control yourself on your setup. Be disciplined. Even if you have $20,000 available for this unit, don't spend it all. Go through this prioritized setup, because you really start making money after you paid yourself back for startup. So you don't want to spend any more money than you have to get the things that your customer wants, so that you can break even quickly and have a profit. All right, I'll see you in the next module. And for those of you who want more coaching and training just like this from somebody who's actually doing it in the trenches, running his own company, I have 27 extended stay rentals in Sacramento, then check out extendedstaylandlord.com. I would love to coach you, and we'd love to give you the support of our private Facebook group and make sure that you get the same results that we get.